This is called the Useless Wagoner. A wagoner is a driver of a horse-drawn wagon. I had to look it up because I was just like, it can't be that simple, can it? It is. There once in the world was a king, and he had a useless wagoner who never did anything but frolic in the tavern, just singing and dancing, eating and drinking. The wagoner thought, there's no need to work. King's got so much money. The king got real tired of this. He calls up the useless wagoner and gives him a terrible scolding. The king couldn't force the wagoner to work. Like, dude would just go on frolicking. Finally, the king resolved to take his life. The wagoner's life, not his own. That wouldn't help the problem at all. So he calls him up, and this is a direct quote because I love these insults. They're amazing. Dost hear me, work shunning useless wagoner? You, I think he has an accent. You hopeless son of a no good mother, I revile thy mother. If within the turn of 24 hours thou dost not make for me a perfect 300-gallon cask, I'll impale thee on a stake. Useless wagoner put a hamper on his back, took his cutting axe, strolled off to the forest to find a tree to make this cask. No question, gonna do this thing. But you gotta have lunch first. So when he came to the forest, he's hungry and tired. He sits down under a large shady tree, opens his hamper, and begins to eat lunch. He ate and ate. He looked down and he saw, hey, there's a little fox there. A little fox is begging for some food. And he says, of course I'll give thee something. Food came here, 'twill stay here. And he throws little fox a slice of bread, a little bit of sausage. And when the fox finished eating, she said, dost hear, useless wagoner? As thou hast taken pity on me, I will take pity on thee. A good deed for a good deed. Though thou hast not told me, still I know why thou hast come to the forest. I know too that the king is breaking his head to kill thee. But he'll not be in time, for I will help thee out of thy trouble and make thee a 300-gallon cask. Lie down and rest. So the useless wagoner took a nap. When the cask was finished, the useless wagoner took it home, gave it to the king, who, after looking at it, dropped his eyes and lips like a sheep. For neither his father, grandfather, or great-grandfather had seen such a kick-ass cask. It was just awesome. So the plan didn't work. He still wants the wagoner dead. He's got to come up with another task. So he calls him up again. Dost thou hear me, work shunning useless wagoner? I revile thy soul. If within the turn of 24 hours thou dost not make for me a chariot which will go by itself without horses, I'll break thee on a wheel. So, with this fresh threat in mind, Useless Wagoner's like, guess I gotta go to the forest and make a chariot now. Oh, I guess I'll make that out of trees too. When he got there, he had another lunch. And hey, look, little fox is here. And they go through the same little routine, gives the fox some food. And she says, Useless Wagoner, a good deed for a good deed. I really like it when you feed me. Though thou hast not told me, I'm good at reading minds. I know why you're here. I know the king is still breaking his head to kill thee. But he won't. I'll help thee out of trouble. I'll make for thee a chariot which will go by itself, without horses. Go ahead and take a nap. You deserve it. So he did. And then little fox finished a beautiful chariot. And when it was ready, she woke him up and she's like, hey, here's the chariot that runs by itself. All you got to do is turn the key in the ignition there, check your mirrors, wear your safety belt. This is new technology. We don't want to run anyone over on our first day. But you got to step in and command it to stop in the king's courtyard. It works on voice commands. It's a very advanced technological vehicle. Oh, and before you go, I've got something for you. Here's a whistle. If you get in trouble, blow the whistle and it'll help. Doesn't say anything about what it'll do, just it'll help. So Useless Wagoner thanks the fox. Minutes later, pulls up to the king's courtyard with the speakers blasting and honks the horn. When the king saw the chariot, his jaw dropped. He turns to the Useless Wagoner in rage and cries, "Useless Wagoner! I revile thy mother! In my stable there are 100 hares." That's bunnies. "If thou dost not herd them in 3 days, if thou dost not drive them afield in the morning, and bring them back at night, so that not one shall be missing from the 100, I'll strike off thy head." Oh, that actually hurts to do. What's the Useless Wagoner to do? So he lets the 100 hares out of the stable, takes them to the field. They barely touch the edge of the field when they run in as many directions as there are hares. Oh no! Bunnies, why? What to do? Useless Wagoner runs after one, then another. He chases the whole day. But he'd never done this kind of cardio before. He's not into high-intensity interval training. In spite of his effort, he can't bring back a single one. It's growing late. It's time to go home. And he's really sad. He's really sad. He knows he is done for. And he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll just do it myself. It's all the same whether the king does it or I do it. There's just no hope. He puts his hand in his pocket to take out his knife. He's just going to strike himself in the heart, super dramatic-like. But instead, he found the whistle that the little fox gave him. So he pulls out the whistle and he blows it. Behold! All the bunnies run up to him. They're tame now. And they all walk home together. The king stood at the gate. He counted each one. Not a single one was missing. He is so mad. On day 2, Useless Wagoner drove the hares out again. And then they ran off every which way. And he's like, I'm just going to take a nap. This is fine now. I got a whistle. Ha-ha. But the king did not rest. He's racking his brain like, I must destroy my nemesis, the Useless Wagoner. So he calls his only dearly beloved daughter and says to her, "My darling daughter, I have a great favor to ask of thee." "Oh, what may it be, my father the king?" "Dress in peasant's clothes. Go out to the field where the Useless Wagoner is herding the 100 hares and beg him for one. If sweet words don't work, maybe a little kiss. But don't come home without a hare, even if he asks a piece of thy body for it." The king is pimping out his daughter.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, you should. You should have a bad feeling about this. Oh, dear. Yeah. Which button was it? I'm not sure if it was going through the audio.
It was.
Oh, okay, good. Good. I'm glad. So, Princess gets her peasant cosplay on, goes in the field, looks at this guy, clears her throat. He doesn't move. Finally, she just kicks him. And when he wakes up, and he saw immediately who he was dealing with. "Good day, hare herder. Good day, king's daughter. Okay, let's get down to business. I came because I would like 1 hare. How much?" "Hi, princess. I will not give one for money, but if thou wilt give me 3 kisses, I can give them back. And then I'll give the money. What do you say?" So I hate this, but the princess got a hare for 3 pairs of kisses and then ran home very joyfully. I'm just picturing her just frolicking. "Ha ha, ha ha, I have a hare." As soon as she touches the latch to open the gate, Useless Wagoner blows the whistle and the hare jumps out of her arms, didn't stop running until it reached the flock. He drove home the flock. King was waiting for him, counted all the bunnies. There's 100. He is so mad. So the next day he drives the hares out again. Let them do whatever. So the king calls to his wife. "My heart's beautiful love, I have a great favor to ask of thee." "Oh, what may it be, my dear husband?" Dress in peasant's clothes. Go to the hare herd in the field. Ask a hare of him. If he will not give it for fair words, he may for a sweet kiss. Huh? But don't come home without a hare, even if he asks a piece of thy flesh. Now he's pimping out his wife. This is a great king. The queen obeys her husband, puts on a peasant's dress, went to the field where she found Useless Wagoner sleeping in the shade. She also kicks him. He knew at once who it was. Good day, hare herd. Good day, kind queen. Why hast thou come, may I ask? I've only come to ask if thou wilt give me a hare for good money. Can we negotiate? I will not give a hare for money, my queen. But if you'll, give me 3 kisses, I'll give them back again. Then I'll give you a bunny. So, queen gets a bunny for 3 pairs of kisses and went home joyously. And just as she was touching that gate, whistle blows, bunny runs away. She looks like an idiot. And then the hares all came home together. All of them are there. The king's got to do what he should have done from the beginning.
Kill him?
Nope. Doesn't kill the guy he's been trying to kill the whole story. He just, he's going to do his own cosplay. So the hares are driven back out again. The king calls upon himself. No, he doesn't have the conversation with himself, but he should. He puts on a peasant's dress. That's what it says. Let's assume he's wearing a dress. And went to the field himself. He comes to the hare herd and he says, he's in disguise now. Oh, good day. That's his disguised voice. Really good at it. Oh, good day, poor man. Can I help you? Oh, I've come to buy a hare for good money. Good money. Sell me a bunny. Please sell me a bunny. You know what? I won't give one for money. That's not what I do. But
3 kisses.
If I can wear out 12 rods on thy back, I don't mind then. So what's the king to do? He stretches out on the grass, and the hare herd flogged him as a corporal does a soldier. Just beats him until 12 rods are completely broken. And the king endures it all, gritting his teeth and thinking to himself, just wait, thief of a useless wagoner. Thou wilt have a dose when I get at thee. But it's all for nothing. I think you like my voice. He does not like my voice at all. He thinks it's a terrible voice. He's laughing at me. When the king gets home, he's putting his hand on the gate. Whistle sounds. Bunny runs away. He looks so dumb. Useless Wagoner has taken the hares home. King counts them all. They're all there. So, finally, the last day, the wagoner drives the hares out to the field. The king decides to go in the chariot, which went wherever the owner commanded. And he went to the useless wagoner, and he took 3 empty bags with him. Dost thou hear me, you work-shunning jerk-face? Hare herd, I revile thy soul. If thou wilt not fill these 3 bags with truth, I will strike off thy head. So Useless Wagoner says, okay, here's the truth. The king's daughter came out, I gave her, she gave me. The queen came, I gave her, she gave me. And you know what I mean. The king came, I gave him, and he... Stop! Stop! Cried the king. The 3 bags are full. They're full of truth now. I'd rather be in hell than hear thy words. And when he said that, the chariot took him there. He went to the bottom of hell. The useless wagoner went home and married the king's daughter, became king, and reigns with his queen, unless he is dead. That's the story. There's also this great alternate version. I just want to. Oh, Dan's so mad.
Do it.
Okay. So there's a second version of the story where there were 3 sons. Each of them wanted to take on the job of herding these bunnies. And the first two brothers ignore a woman in trouble and fail at herding really bad and get strips of flesh peeled from their backs and they get thrown into a snake pit. Whoa. But the third brother does not ignore the old woman who got her nose wedged in a tree stump when she was chopping wood. This brother named Esben helps her out, gives her food and drink. She gives him the magic whistle. And she deliberately tells him it brings together what has been lost. So, the first day they sent out a chambermaid to bargain for the whistle. And they want to get the whistle, not a bunny. He says, I'll take $100 if you also give me a kiss for every dollar. This story goes hard at it. And the chambermaid was into it. So he gets $100 and 100 kisses. And then the whistle disappears. It just gets wished back to him, which is really lame. The princess had to do $200 and 200 kisses. The queen tried to offer $50 and had to keep raising her bid till she got to 300 plus kisses. I cannot even imagine how long 300 kisses take. Just out there all day long, kissing so much. And then when the king shows up, instead of getting beaten horribly, the hair herder says, oh, hey, you see that pretty white horse on the hill? And the king's like, that's my snow witch. He's like, yeah. This deal is $1,000. And king, you got to go kiss that mare's bottom. And the king's like, may I please place a silken handkerchief between my lips and the bottom? And he says, okay, fine. Of course, he doesn't get the whistle either. And at the end, the king demands that he fill a cauldron with lies, and he just lets it all hang out. And he's just like, hey, here's all this juicy gossip. I got 100 kisses from your chambermaid. I got 200 kisses from your daughter. 300 from your wife. And by the way, you kissed her. And he gets cut off right there. The king's like, yeah. How about you marry my daughter and we pretend like none of this ever happened? So that's the variation. I like the first story better because I think the second story is so hard on overkill. But I just wanted to share it. That's my story about the bunnies. And here's some pictures from my book. You can see them with the fox and also king counting bunnies. Woo! So that's the story of the Useless Wagoner. What do you think, Dan?
No.
Just no. Dan says no. Dan says pass. He would like to not hear about the Useless Wagoner. I still had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. We're going to end this stream now, as Dan is very, very tired of my stories.
I'd rather be in hell than listen to one more word of your voice in the stories.
Wow. Just wow. Okay. How do I do this? Good job. This has been Tale Wagging. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to Tale Wagging. If you'd like to send in a story idea, email us at talewaggingpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter at Tale Wagging Pod. That's TaleWaggingPod. We started a Twitch channel where you can watch the storytelling live at twitch.tv/JackieBauerTV and a YouTube channel. Links to both are in the show notes. We'd really love it if you could take a moment to please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast anywhere you can. It really helps us get found on this new adventure. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend, tweet about it on the interwebs, or send a raven. And if you are under an evil enchantment or have been transformed into a creature of some kind, I can't promise that listening to the next episode will turn you back, but it might. This is Tale Wagging. May all your dreams come true.